Have you ever had your perfect plan completely shattered by someone else's chaos? Your first instinct is to roar in frustration. But what if that exact interruption is actually the beginning of your greatest chapter? Welcome back to Choose Purposeful. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to take a look at Chapter 1 of Where the Creek Bends, titled The Calculus of a Heart. We're going back to the very beginning. Before the grief, before the silence, we're going back to the water. Long before Rolli was born, his father Michael was a quiet, steady young man standing in Whispering Creek, intensely focused on catching minnows. His perfect solitary focus was suddenly shattered when a girl named Mildred and her friends came splashing into the water, scaring his entire potential catch away. His first instinct was anger. He was fuming. So close to a great haul, which would have meant for an amazing day of fishing on Glimmer Lake. But then he looked at Mildred, her auburn hair piled messily upon her head and standing there dripping and defiant. And he let out a roar. "What are you doing?" And immediately he realized, I need to do something different here. He paused. He decided to let the anger go. And he chose to join in the water fight and have fun. That single purposeful choice was the beginning of a sturdy homespun love story, the foundation of a couple who would become known by their friends as M&M. Michael worked at a furniture factory, and together they built a beautiful small cottage made up of pieces of oak and cherry and curly maple from the factory. When Rolli was born, Michael made it his mission to build a fortress of resilience inside of his son, teaching him that the world is full of magic if you know how to look for it. Driven by a profound, quiet desire to provide, Michael made a huge decision. He joined the army. The extra money would mean a safer and a better start for his family. The chapter ends with a heavy reality. The orders arrive. Michael kneels in front of his young son, and he advises him, "You need to be the man of the house while I'm gone." And he walks down the gravel path. Let's think about that exact moment that Rolli's parents met in the creek that day. Michael's perfect plans were ruined. His first instinct was anger. But he paused, and the calculus of the moment changed. How often do we let minor frustrations ruin a beautiful opportunity? Someone interrupts our plans, and our first instinct is to build a wall. This is where we can use our tools. Stop. Pause before you let sudden anger dictate your reaction. Look at the reality. Is this a catastrophe or just an interruption? Listen to what your intuition tells you about the moment. And feel the frustration, acknowledge it, but then purposefully let it wash away so you can choose connection instead. Love and purpose aren't built on grand, perfect plans. They are drafted in the margins of ordinary, messy moments. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to drop your defenses, dismantle your fortresses, and simply join in the water fight. Michael walked down that gravel path, leaving a young boy with a massive promise to keep. Next week, we're going to turn the page to Chapter 2. We're going to explore exactly what happens when the days of waiting turns into weeks, and the weeks turn into a heavy, suffocating silence. We will see how a little boy handles the crushing weight of a temporary promise when the world starts whispering that it might just become permanent. It's a chapter about the heaviest transitions in our lives and how we find the strength to stand when the foundation is shaking. So let's make a deal this week. No more letting small frustrations build giant walls. When your perfect plan gets interrupted tomorrow or the next day, and it likely will, I want you to pause. Do not immediately build a fortress to protect your pride. Take a breath. Look at the person in front of you. Choose connection over correction and be willing to get a little messy. Because when we do that, we aren't just letting go of anger. We are actually laying the first stones of a new foundation. If this message felt like something you needed to hear today, please share this with a friend. May you realize today that the strongest foundations aren't built on perfection. And may you find the courage to drop your defenses and simply join the water fight. Stop, look, listen, feel, choose. Do the work, practice gratitude, harness peace, find the calm, spread positivity, and choose purposeful. See you next week.